Hello everyone. In this video, for this 2028 election prediction, we have Governor of Maryland Wes Moore running against Vice President J.D. Vance. So I think Wes Moore would be a pretty good candidate. He would obviously do well with black voters, like he did well with them in Maryland back in 2020, or 2022's governorship election. But J.D. Vance, he would also have some good Midwestern appeal in those Midwestern swing states, and that'll definitely help him quite a bit. So I think this will be a pretty interesting election to look over here. So let me just finish the safe blue states. Okay, let's start off with a safe red state. So South Carolina, Florida. I think with Texas, I think Wes Moore would honestly do pretty well with black voters and probably get the turnout higher among them. So I think Texas would actually go back to being a likely red state with Governor Wes Moore. I think he would do well in Texas, better than most Democrats have done in a bit. Well, other Democrats that are available to run in 2020, I think he would be a better one to make Texas likely red again. So let's look at Iowa and Ohio. These states are pretty much gone for the Democrats now. I think they're probably going to be safe red states presidentially from now on, unless they somehow change their party to be more a populist one. Nebraska's second. I think it would shift back to being a likely blue district. Maine and New Hampshire. I'd put Maine as likely blue. Maine second, likely red. New Hampshire, I think it would probably be about a lean blue state again. I think Vance could probably make a play for this state potentially, but I think Moore still wins it by about 4. New Jersey is an interesting state to keep an eye on for trends. It could become a lean blue state in the future, but for now I'm putting it as a likely blue state. I think Wes Moore is a pretty good candidate to keep New Jersey as likely blue. Same with Virginia and New Mexico. I think he'd do well in both those states. So taking a look at North Carolina and Georgia, I think North Carolina still stays red. Again, usually in a close election, North Carolina still ends up going towards the Republicans. Georgia, on the other hand, it did have a lot of its Atlanta suburbs still shifted left in Georgia in 2024. And with Wes Moore getting higher black turnout, I think he would probably end up winning the state of Georgia by a narrow margin. I think that would end up happening. In Arizona, Democrats really need to register more Democrats in the state of Arizona because currently Republicans are still outpacing them here. So this is probably going to be a red state again if that trend continues. Nevada, we're also seeing Republicans gain a lot of party registration here. So again, they really need to turn that around to make this state back to a tilt blue state. So for now, Vance is probably a favorite in Arizona and Nevada just due to those party registration advantages. And now we're down to the 4 Rust Belt states. In Minnesota, I think Wes Moore would turn Minnesota back into a likely blue state. I think he would get a bit better turnout than Kamala Harris in the state of Minnesota. And now we're down to Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. It pretty much all comes down to Pennsylvania, whoever wins. If Vance takes it, Vance wins narrowly. So in Michigan, I do think Wes Moore would do well. In Detroit, I think he would fix the margins Democrats have been having here lately, where Michigan actually trended a bit redder in 2024, especially Detroit. That area was the big reason why Harris lost the state of Michigan. I think Wes Moore would be able to win back Michigan here, probably by a lean blue margin, like 1.5%. Wisconsin, I think it's always going to be a tilt blue or tilt red state either way. And I think with Wes Moore, I think he would get good turnout in Milwaukee and Madison, and I think that'll probably be enough to win in Wisconsin. Especially Waukesha County, that's a big boon for Republicans because it's still trending left, that area. So that's definitely going to hurt Republicans long term in Wisconsin, keep it as a competitive state for the Democrats. So now the election basically comes down to Pennsylvania, like I said before. I think it's probably going to be the kingmaker state in most of these predictions from now on, unless we see a random state like North Carolina or Nevada flip blue, which is probably unlikely at this point. But yeah, it's a pretty tough state to see who wins here. But I think Wes Moore could turn this state back to blue simply by doing better in Philadelphia in the suburbs than Harris would have been able to do. But it'll be close. It's going to be tilt blue state or tilt red state either way in this matchup. But I think Wes Moore will be able to narrowly take it against J.D. Vance here in this prediction. So Thanks so much for watching this video. If you're new to this channel, I would highly recommend subscribing. I would appreciate it. And let me know in the comments what other recommendations you got. I'm interested in hearing that. Other than that, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next one.